and she decided to make Seihi's life very miserable. Starting the next day, Yoonji and her group treated Seihi terribly. They hurt her, pulled her hair, even set her hair on fire, and made her wear a mark that embarrassed her. All the other students in the class saw this happen, but they didn't say anything because they were afraid of facing the same treatment. In the beginning of the movie, we meet our main character, In-soo. He's a young college student who can see ghosts. He has a special locket that spins when a ghost is nearby. Unfortunately, because of this power, his classmates tease him and call him the ghost seer. One day, while he's on the subway, his locket starts spinning like crazy, and he sees a young girl's ghost in the crowd. This scares him, so he leaves the subway and goes home. He checks his room with the locket but doesn't find anything at first. He feels relieved, but then the locket starts spinning again, and he sees the ghost on his shoulders. It turns out the ghosts aren't trying to harm him, they just need his help. This particular ghost tells him she was murdered and gives him the location of her body. She wants her parents to find some peace. At first, In-soo is unsure, but after a lot of convincing, he calls the police and solves the case. Even though he helps the ghost, he's tired of his abilities. He just wants to have a normal life and make friends. So, he decides to leave school and look for answers in his hometown. He calls his uncle, Hikaru, to tell him he's coming. Hikaru tries to convince him that his studies are important, but In-soo doesn't listen. In the next part, he goes back to his hometown and sees a pretty girl named Rose on the way. Later, he meets his uncle, who can also see ghosts like him. His uncle is really good at getting rid of ghosts and sending them to the afterlife. The next day, In-soo starts going to his old school again. The teacher introduces him to everyone, and In-soo hopes he can start fresh here. But some bullies notice him and start bothering him right away. One of the bullies, named Yoonji, even flirts with him, even though she has a boyfriend named Hae-chul. While all of this is happening, In-soo sees a girl ghost with a mask outside the classroom, and it scares him. Later, on his way home from school, Hae-chul suddenly attacks him from behind and beats him up. Hae-chul warns In-soo to stay away from his girlfriend, even though she was the one flirting with In-soo. Hae-chul also brings up the case of a girl named Ah-young who died mysteriously years ago. In-soo saw her ghost many times, and she always asked for help, but In-soo was too scared to do anything. That's one of the main reasons he moved to the city. The story then switches to one of the mean girls who goes home and finds a plastic bag on her front door. When she tries to open it, the bag tears, and blood spills on her face. She gets really scared and tries to call her friends, but the call won't go through. Suddenly, the same masked ghost from before appears and attacks her, ending her life. Later, we see In-soo sitting with the same girl, Rose, who is actually a ghost that passed away years ago. But In-soo likes talking to her because she's not scary like the other ghosts. All of a sudden, the wind starts to blow, and Rose tells In-soo that the masked girl is nearby. This scares In-soo, and he quickly runs away. The next day at school, when one of the bullies, Yoonji, is picking on a boy in front of the whole class, In-soo gets tired of it and steps in. He tells her to stop the bullying once and for all. As expected, the other bullies are ready to fight In-soo, but Yoonji stops them. It seems like she's starting to like him. In the evening, In-soo and his uncle are watching the news. They see a murder case that was solved after 10 years, and the killer was wearing a mask. This gets In-soo's attention because it reminds him of the masked ghost he saw at school. He talks to his uncle about it, hoping to learn more. Then, a female ghost in the same house reveals that the masked girl's name is Seihi. At the same time, a couple from the group of bullies sneaks into the school at night. They're trying to get back a girl's cell phone that a teacher took earlier. After they do that, they go into a classroom and have some fun. The girl goes to the washroom, leaving the boy alone. While he's waiting for her to come back, the masked ghost, Seihi, suddenly appears and kills him. After that, she confronts the other bully in the bathroom stall and finishes her off too. The next day, the whole school is shocked by the murders. Yoonji is especially upset because her friends are being targeted one by one. Meanwhile, In-soo is trying to find out more about the masked ghost, Seihi. He asks everyone in his classroom, but nobody wants to talk about her, even though they know something. It seems like her death is connected to the bully group. Later, while In-soo and Rose are spending time together, he gets a message from one of his classmates. She sends a photo of Seihi and says not to ask her about Seihi anymore. In-soo then asks Rose if she knows anything about Seihi. The pretty ghost girl tells him that the whole school knows how she died. This makes In-soo realize that the bully group was responsible for Seihi's death. He gets really angry and attacks Hae-chul from behind, but Hae-chul is stronger and beats him up instead. Still, In-soo, with a wicked smile, says, Sei-hee is coming for you all. Later, when the mean kids are going back home, Yoonji shows Hae-chul a picture of Sei-hee's dad and connects it to their friends being killed. She's sure the old man is getting revenge by hurting the bullies one by one. Hae-chul agrees with her idea, so they decide to go to Sei-hee's house and do something about her dad. But first, Yoonji secretly tells In-soo about their plan. In the next part of the story, In-soo gets the message and tells his uncle about what's going on. He doesn't like the bullies, but he knows they're in danger, so he wants to stop them before it's too late. His uncle, Hikaru, tells him to be careful and gives him a special dagger for protection. Meanwhile, Hae-chul and Yoonji go into the house, and they get surprised by a weird thumping sound from a box. At the same time, they see some strange pictures of the girl who's no longer alive, Sei-hee. At this moment, they figure out that In-soo was telling the truth. Sei-hee has really returned for payback. The bullies get scared and try to run away, but suddenly, Sei-hee's dad mysteriously appears from the box and brutally kills Hae-chul. Yoonji, seeing her boyfriend die in a terrible way, pleads for her life. She even says sorry for what she did before. However, the father doesn't listen and kills her too. After that, In-soo finally gets to the scene. He goes into the house and sees his classmates lying on the floor, not moving. He also sees Sei-hee's father and realizes that he's being controlled by his daughter's ghost. Just as In-soo is about to leave, he hears a noise from a nearby closet. Inside, he finds Sei-hee with her usual mask on. In-soo bravely takes off the mask and finds out that she's actually Rose. After that, we're shown what happened in the past. Sei-hee was a happy girl who went to the same school, but like the others, she also suffered because of the bully group. One day, when she couldn't take it anymore, she went to the head teacher and told them about how Yoonji was bullying her. The head teacher took this seriously and scolded Yoonji in front of everyone. This made the bully girl really angry, and she decided to make Sei-hee's life very miserable. Starting the next day, Yoonji and her group treated Sei-hee terribly. They hurt her, pulled her hair, even set her hair on fire, and made her wear a mark that embarrassed her. All the other students in the class saw this happen, but they didn't say anything because they were afraid of facing the same treatment. The constant torment made Sei-hee's life very hard, and she cried a lot at home. Her worried father told her to talk to the head teacher, but Sei-hee refused because she thought it would make things worse. Then, one day, she couldn't take the constant mistreatment anymore, and she did something very shocking. In the afterlife, her spirit split into two personalities. The first one is Rose, who is like the real Sei-hee, kind and always willing to help others. The second one is the masked girl, who is on a mission to get rid of all the people who hurt her. In the present time, In-soo finds a diary where all the names of the victims are crossed out, except for the head teacher. This means that the masked girl hasn't finished her revenge yet. In-soo gets scared and quickly calls his uncle to go to Sei-hee's house and do a special ceremony. Then, he goes to the school to save the head teacher. In the next part of the story, the head teacher is working alone, and she is confronted by Sei-hee's spirit. Shortly after, In-soo gets to the school and asks about the teacher, but no one seems to have seen her. All of a sudden, the lights go off, and Sei-hee shows up in front of them, having taken control of the head teacher's body. She then reveals her true self with the mask and says that since they all ignored her when she was being bullied, they all deserve to be punished. In-soo tries to stop her, but Sei-hee grabs a lighter and tosses it onto the ground where there is gasoline. It looks like all the students are about to be burned to death at this moment, but surprisingly, Rose, the other side of Sei-hee, catches the lighter before it hits the ground. Then, they have a really eerie talk, where Rose tries to get her other self to not hurt the students. However, Sei-hee, who is much stronger, easily pushes Rose away, making her disappear. Meanwhile, Hikaru arrives at Sei-hee's house and starts doing his special supernatural procedure. Sei-hee, with her strong spirit, starts breaking things as she goes. On the other side, In-soo is busy checking a magical locket to see if anyone is possessed by Rose. When he sees the locket spinning around a girl, he tells her to stop whatever she's doing and gives her a notebook he found in Sei-hee's container. The story then goes back to a memory, showing that In-soo and Sei-hee were friends when they were kids. She had even saved him from the bullies once. They seemed to be in love, and In-soo had drawn a picture of her in his notebook. Now, in the present, he says sorry to Rose's spirit for not recognizing her. This momentary distraction allows Hikaru to finish what he's doing. As the girl's spirit is finally set free, the special dagger in In-soo's pocket starts to shine. Rose takes it out and stabs herself, and then we see a flashback of the happy memories In-soo and Sei-hee shared. In the last part of the story, all the students are shown feeling sad at Sei-hee's grave. In-soo is there too, with a lovely drawing of his beloved Rose. Did you like the movie? Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button to stay updated for more movie recap videos. Thank you for watching. See you at the next one.